we categorized companies in the exponential era into what we call animals of the exponential kingdom. Okay, so in the book, I provide examples, 2 companies for each of these categories. Today, given our time limit, I'm going to talk only about 3 of these animals, and I'll give you one example from each. So let's start with the flash-boiled frogs. So the classic flash-boiled frog is Nokia. So if you look back at 2007, on the cover of Forbes magazine, it said, Nokia, 1 billion customers. Can anyone catch the cell phone king? That same year, Steve Jobs announced the iPhone. And as they say, the rest is history. But what's interesting about Nokia is that Nokia was well known for being a highly adaptive company. They had pivoted several times in their history. They went from being in the business of rubber galoshes to paper and eventually to phones. They spent an enormous amount of money on research and development. They were considered a technological powerhouse. So what happened? How did Nokia become a flash-boiled frog? And to answer that question, we need to go back to an article that was written by Mark Andreessen titled, Software is Eating the World. And Nokia was primarily a hardware company. And what they missed is the software eats the world inflection point. So with that, let's go to the next one, which is the dancing elephants. Here for this discussion, I'd like to talk about Microsoft. And the reason why I want to talk about Microsoft is because Microsoft has a very interesting history. So if you look back at the early 2000s, the beginning of the 21st century, there were 3 technological platforms that were fundamental to the future of software companies. And those were cloud, social, and mobile. And Microsoft missed all 3 of those new platforms. In fact, there was an article written by Paul Graham, the founder of Y Combinator, which was titled, Microsoft is Dead. So in the early 2000s, Silicon Valley and a lot of people in technology believed that Microsoft was done. They never thought Microsoft would come back. But Microsoft was able to make a change at the leadership level. They promoted Satya Nadella to CEO, and Satya Nadella did a remarkable job transforming Microsoft. And the way he did this is he worked on Microsoft's culture. And what he did is he changed Microsoft from a culture that was primarily a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And in the case of Microsoft, what this meant is that, Microsoft had a culture in which it was very important for people to show that they were very smart. So what Nadella did is he changed the culture at Microsoft from a know-it-all to a learn-it-all. Now let's talk about the dominating gorillas. And I could not think of a better example than Amazon. So if we look back at the very beginning of Amazon, Amazon started as an online e-commerce bookseller, and Jeff Bezos in his fancy office back then started this company and turned it into what today is really a quite remarkable organization with a level of automation that allows them to service their customers in ways that is very difficult to challenge. They have consumer products that are in our homes. They have transformed the delivery system to the point where now you can order something on the Amazon website and you can expect to receive that order in as little as 2 hours. And they've done this by building a tremendous computing capability, which, they became so good at this that they decided that they would be able to sell that same computing capability to third parties. And that's how Amazon Web Services came about. But they didn't stop there. Today, they're launching satellites and creating communication systems across the world. They are working on original content. So now they are in the TV and the movie business. So this is a company that started as a bookseller, and today they're dominating several different domains.